Okay, in this video, I'm going to tell you why we love selling put options so much and why it has such a high degree of probability of winning. Most new traders that come to me, they tell me that they just want to make a lot of money very quickly. And what they end up doing is they buy cheap, dollar-wise, out of the money, short-term call options on a stock that they're bullish on. And a majority of the times, like maybe over 90%, those option trades don't work out. They lose 100% of the cost that they put in, the premium that they paid. And they come to me and they say, why do I keep losing so much? I'm bullish on the stock, and sometimes the stock goes up, but I still lose money on my trades. Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you why you lose so much money, and I'm going to show you why selling put options is such a great strategy for making consistent profits in the options market. So if you want to learn how to do it, and if you're in that camp of you keep losing money as an option buyer, stick around and watch this video. Okay, everyone, Lee Lowell here from smartoptionseller.com. Now, what I want to talk to you about today is why most new option traders end up losing money. So they don't understand the importance of what goes into making an options price. Okay, when you buy or sell an option contract, that option price is made up of the stock price, the strike price, the days to expiration, the volatility levels. And most new traders don't understand how to use that all together to come up with a trade that's going to be profitable for them. And what a lot of people don't understand is that when they trade options contracts, they're always trying to guess where the stock is going to be on a certain date, or how high the stock's going to go if they're bullish, or if they're bearish, how low the stock's going to go. So they're always trying to figure out where the stock is going to go. And that's super hard for option buyers, because that's basically assuming that you know where the stock's going to be on a certain date, meaning the expiration date. So what we do when selling put options, we're basically flipping the script. Instead of trying to figure out where a stock is going, we figure out where a stock isn't going. And it's a much easier way to make a profit, a much higher probability of winning on that trade when you play more defense, and it's more about where the stock isn't going. So what I have on the screen here in front of you, this is a chart of Apple. This is a weekly chart of Apple, and obviously you can see the stock's just been going up years and years and years. And this goes back to sometime in early 2015. So this is over an 11-year stock, and obviously Apple is going up. So selling put options is a bullish strategy. And when you sell a put option, that is going to be your initial transaction. You are actually going to sell a put option to somebody else. Now, this is not a put option that you had to own prior. In the financial markets, you can sell something out of thin air that you've never owned before. You can just sell it as that's your initial transaction. So selling put options is a bullish strategy. And it also is an option trading strategy, which will obligate you potentially sometime in the future having to buy the shares of the specific stock that you're selling put options on. So what I'm going to talk about here about Apple, this is not a recommendation to sell put options on Apple. This is just an example that I'm showing you how the process works and why you might want to sell put options on any stock. But in this case, we're just using Apple as an example. So please don't take it as my recommendation to sell put options on Apple. All right. So let's assume that you're bullish on Apple and you want to get involved with Apple, but instead of buying a call option, like a cheap out of the money call option where the stock's going to have to rally really far in a short period of time, you're going to flip the script and you're going to sell a put option at a level in which you would be comfortable potentially buying the stock in the future. So it's all about getting your hands on a bullish trade. And number one, you have to be bullish on the stock. Number two, it has to be a stock that you would be comfortable buying sometime in the future. Don't sell put options on stocks that you know nothing about. Don't sell put options on stocks that you would not want to buy shares of that stock. So only choose stocks that you want to buy the shares. The other thing that you need to do is figure out where would you potentially be comfortable owning shares of that stock. Not at its current price, but somewhere down below its current price. So looking at this chart of Apple right here. Now, Apple's just made all-time new highs above $308 a share. So we got to figure out, instead of trying to figure out where Apple's going to be up here at some point in time, we're going to figure out where Apple's not going to be down here sometime in the future. Okay, there's two ways you could win. If Apple doesn't fall down to that level, you keep the money that the put option buyer paid you. You don't get to buy your shares, but at least you got some money by selling the put option. Now, if the stock does fall down to your strike price, that's the option contract you're going to sell, then you would have to buy the shares of that stock. So you only want to figure out where you would be comfortable buying shares of that stock. Now, if you know anything about, simple technical analysis, right here, this line right here, here's a 50-day moving average. Now this is the chart of Apple up here. This is the price action. Down here is the RSI indicator, but these three lines on here are the 20-day, 50-day, and 200-day moving averages. This red line is the 50-day moving average. And you can see the chart of Apple, the price action, kind of hugs along either the 20-day or 50-day. But you want to get yourself a little bit of a bargain. So you're thinking, okay, I want to potentially try to buy Apple around where the 50-day moving average is right here. So right now it's about $252 and change. Okay, Apple's at $308. If you can get a pullback down to $252, you'd be comfortable buying 100 shares of Apple, because every option contract, one option contract, consists of 100 shares of the stock. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, instead of trying to figure out where Apple's going to go, I want to figure out where I want to buy this thing, and I'm willing to sell a put option with a strike price of $252 or roughly around there, because you think that if Apple falls back down to the 50-day moving average, it's going to bounce and then go back up again, which would be great. Okay, so the next order of business is to go to the option chain, which we'll pull up an option chain right now. And we're going to look at put options for Apple, and then we're going to figure out the probability and see how much chance the stock Apple has to drop down to that $252 level. So when you open up an option chain, you're presented with tons of different expiration dates. Now, Apple has expirations every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you have lots of choices to make. Now, I will say the longer out in time you go, the more money you will get when you sell a put option contract, okay? As I said, a lot of newcomers, they like to try to buy short-dated, out-of-the-money call options. I'm going to go to this May 27th option that expires in 3 days. Call options are over here on the left-hand side. Apple, $308 a share. So a lot of people will gravitate towards buying, a 300 strike call option, which costs maybe 12 cents per contract, which is 12 actual dollars. Apple would have to go up to above $320 in the next 3 days. Now, considering the market only has a couple days left to get this done, there might not be a chance that Apple could move that far. But we're going to sell a put option, and we're going to look at July, which has 54 days until expiration. Okay. And you're thinking that $252 is a level that you would be okay buying Apple if you had to. So we go in the option chain. Now we're presented with either the 250 puts or the 255 puts. So the 252s, there's no strike listed. So you have to choose one of these things. So you're going to err up more on the side of caution, and you're going to sell a 250 strike put option for about 60 cents per contract. Okay, here's the bid and ask price. Try to sell it for something in the middle, roughly about 60 cents per contract. Now that's 60 actual dollars you will get for every one option contract that you sell. Okay. So you go ahead and you sell the thing for 60 cents per contract. Somebody buys it. Now you have $60 in your pocket. Now what happens? Well, now you just wait to see whether Apple falls from $308 all the way down to $250. If it doesn't fall that far in the next 54 days, okay, here's your expiration, you do not get to buy shares of Apple at $250 a share. You just keep your $60 and then you move on to the next trade. Now you do this trade again for a couple more months out in the future, okay? If Apple falls down to $250 in the next 54 days at expiration, you will be forced to buy 100 shares of Apple at $250 a share, and you'll have to pay $25,000 at that time to acquire the shares. So before you sell any put option, you have to know whether you have the money to actually buy the shares if it comes to fruition that you have to buy the shares. Now, there's two kinds of accounts that you can have: a cash account or a margin account. Now, if you're selling put options in a cash account, you will always have to have the $25,000 on hand, free and clear at all times, sitting in your account, as if you've already bought the shares, okay? So if you have a cash account, you're always going to have $25,000 on hold at all times, in order, whether or not you buy the shares. Now, if you have a margin account, you only have to have a fraction of that $25,000 to at least invoke the trade. And it'll be maybe 20% of that. It depends on your broker. So 20% of $25,000, what is that, $5,000? I think that's that's the number. So in order to invoke the trade, you'd only have to have about $5,000 in your account, not 25,000, but 5,000. But if you do end up having to buy the shares at expiration, and that's only if Apple falls down to 250, then you'd have to come up with the rest of that, $25,000 to pay for your shares. And now you're a shareholder. You have 100 shares of Apple at 250, and then you can watch it rally all the way back up again. Okay, so that's how it works. Sell a put option on a stock that you want to buy at a level that you're comfortable potentially buying it. Sell that put option, have some money in your account, and if you get a sign, that's what it's called. If you get a sign, that means the stock's falling down to the strike price, then you have to buy the shares. If it doesn't fall that far, you keep the cash and you do the trade again. So you're either going to do this in a margin account or a cash account. I like to use it in a margin account because I don't want to have to put up $25,000 not knowing whether I'm going to buy the shares or not. It's just not an efficient way for me to use my cash. But some people cannot get a margin account. You have to get approved from your broker. So find out if you have a cash account or a margin account. And if you don't have either one yet, you have to figure out which one you want to use. And you have to be approved for either one. So that's with your broker. You have to figure that out with your broker. Now, let's talk about the probabilities. Now, I said these are very high probability trades. And when you sell an option strike that's well out of the range of where the current stock price is, that's called out of the money. So what this 250 put is, you're selling an out of the money put option. Now, a quick and easy way to figure out the probability of the option expiring worthless. Most likely, these options are just going to expire worthless because they're so far away from the current price of the stock. And the way to figure out, an easy way to figure out the probability of that is you look at the delta. So if you have the delta column in your option chain, you can see that the 250 puts have a 0.037 delta. That's 3.7%. Deltas range from 0 to 100%. 3.7% delta means there's only a 3.7% chance that Apple will fall from 308 all the way down to 250 by the expiration date. So that means you have a 96.3% chance of the trade working out for you, meaning the trade will expire worthless and you'll just keep the $60. So over a 96% probability that you will win on the trade. Now we can also go to, and I'm going to show you this. Actually, let's talk about this right now. If you know nothing about selling put options, we have a free guide on our website, Put Selling Basics. I'm going to put a link down in the description to get this free guide. It's all about selling put options, why we do it, why we love it, and why you should do it as well. So I'll put a link down there. Get the free guide if you don't have it already. Let's go to our probability calculator. This is what I wanted to show you. So we're going to put in the current price of Apple. Now the probability calculator tells you what are the chances of the stock falling from point A to point B within a certain amount of time. Now we're going to use the July 17th expiration, 54 days ahead, as I showed you in the option chain. And the volatility we're going to use. Now for the volatility, you can go to the at the money volatility, which is roughly about 21.5%, and you can also look up here 21.4%. So we're going to put in 21.5% in the probability calculator, and we want to know the chance of Apple falling down to 250 by the expiration date. When I click on go, you're going to see the results. So right here and right here. So what this is telling you is there's only a 0.58% chance, that's less than 1% chance, that Apple will fall from 308 all the way down to 250 by expiration date. Conversely, 99.4% chance that Apple won't fall that far. So this is your odds of winning as the option seller. You have a 99.4% chance of winning on this trade. And by winning, I mean the option's going to expire worthless and you won't have to buy your shares of stock. You're just going to keep your $60. This is the put option buyer's probability of winning, less than 1% chance. So if someone said, I think Apple's going to fall all the way down to 250 from its current price of 308 in the next 54 days, this is the chance of that happening, according to the probability calculator, less than 1% chance. Which side do you want to be on? You want to have a 1% chance of winning or a 99.5% chance of winning? I know which side I want to be on. I'm an option seller. Now, let's go back to the option chain real quick. Now, I said the further out in time you go, the more money you'll get. So let's go out to December of 2026. And you can see how much you can get for those 250 puts if you sell a longer dated option, which is now you can get, $480 right in the middle. Would you rather have $480 or $60? the longer out in time you go, the more money you get. But you also, in the next 280 days, Apple could fall a lot further, okay? So you're giving the stock more time to potentially move against you. But as long as you're okay with buying that stock at that strike price, then it doesn't matter to you. You'd rather get more money. Now, the risk in the trade is the same as any risk of any bullish position. And that risk is that the stock could keep falling lower and lower after you've purchased it, okay? So that is a risk that you have to be prepared for. If you buy Apple and Apple falls down to 250 and you have to buy your 100 shares at 250, there's nothing stopping from Apple falling down to 150 or down to 50. Okay, so that's the risk that you take. Make no mistake, there is risk in this trade. It's the same as any bullish trade. You can lose money, and that's if the stock keeps dropping in price. So a lot of people will come back to me and say, well, Lee, when is the right time to get into a trade? When should I get into a bullish trade? And it's different for everybody. Okay, if you're planning on holding this trade for 10 years into the future, does it matter whether you buy it at $250 or $150? I mean, yes, that is a difference. But if you're going to hold it for 10 years and you know that Apple goes up, let's look at the monthly chart of Apple, okay? And you can see, okay, so going back to, the early 1980s, you can see Apple just keeps going up. So you know it's going to keep going up over time. So maybe you don't sweat it by whether you buy it at 250 or 240, 230. If you know you're going to hold it for a long time, it's eventually going to go up. But in the short term, there is chances that the stock could go lower on you and you may be holding a losing position for a period of time. Now, whenever you sell an option contract, like in Apple in this case, you could always unwind the trade and buy the option back. If you think Apple is just going to keep dropping in price and you're like, I don't want to buy it at 250 anymore, I want out. Well, then you just have to buy that put option back for whatever its going price is at that time. You may lock in a loss or you may lock in a gain depending on the time frame. There's no way to tell ahead of time. But as long as you're comfortable with that stock, potentially buying that stock at a price that you've chosen, then there's no issue. Now, again, if you wanted to try to time the trade better, obviously getting into a bullish position is better after a stock has made a down move or the market's made a down move. And also implied volatility will be going up at that time. So you'll be able to sell the put option for a higher price. But are you willing to sit and wait in the market for the market to come off? What if the stock never comes off again and you keep missing your opportunity? The last time that there was a good buy in Apple was down here. This was in, right before the war with U.S. and Iran, right at the end of March, early April, right around $250, and it just bounced. So maybe you sit around and wait until Apple has another little bit of a down move if you want to try a timing play. That's completely up to you. There's no right or wrong answer. But I just wanted to give you an idea of how you can be a more successful trader by selling put options, because now you're taking the mentality of, where the stock is not going to drop to. If the stock's in an uptrend, most likely it's going to keep going in an uptrend and it's not going to pull back very far. So you're playing more defense. You're trying to figure out where the stock is not going to go. As long as it's at a level that you'd be okay potentially buying those shares. Okay, so that's what selling put options all about. It's got a high win rate. You can collect these smaller premiums over and over again, depending on what expiration date you use. You can do short term, you can go long term, completely up to you. All right, so that's it. I want to give you an idea of how great put selling is. Once again, I'm down in the description below. I'm going to put in a link for the free ebook. Get the free ebook. And in this next video here, I'm going to put another video about put options, selling put options for smaller accounts. If you found this video helpful, please give me a like, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. Keep reading down in the description. I've got other links and websites and books down there that could help you as well. All right, that's all for me today. This is Lee Lowell signing off.